but I would never stand in the way of a connection for him to build with his biological mother. Supposedly that I was keeping someone alienated and out of the picture for years. Why was there not an effort to go to the court until October of last year? Your comments literally are irrelevant. Unless you're being nice and supportive and understanding that I want it to be done. It's affected so much of our fucking life. Like when they say like a custody case takes over your life, it really do. Has some struggles that are could be associated with FAS. I stand on my own fucking words. Okay, I know what I said. Okay, and I still stand on that because I know the struggles he deals with. I know when I first met the child, he could barely hold a fork and spoon correct. He couldn't draw. He couldn't walk without one of his legs was, I don't remember what it's called, is it called a stent, where you walk with a little bit of a limp. And his speech was, he did mention that I've helped him with his speech. I get that it's been 8-9 long months or more of the other party just spreading lies and saying whatever about whatever, that we completely didn't get to have him in our life anymore, and he's over there. We've lost the kid, bro. Lost the kid because there's no parental knowledge. Like, you weren't in your children's lives until a year and a half ago. You don't know how to be a parent. And I'm not trying to be vindictive. I'm trying to say it could have gone so much different if this was about just being there for the kid, knowing him, knowing his desires, what he wants in his life. It would have gone down different. It would have never been about this fight to I am looking like I've got my life together. And I'm so very curious, if nobody had done all that supportive, helping with housing, helping with this, helping with that, what could you do on your own?
Okay, we're going to talk about this, okay? Because you're upset Desiree has help, right? That's why you're upset. Desiree had help and support. You had help and support. People sent your children stuff because you lived in a 1-bedroom subsidized apartment that wasn't in your name. You were not legally supposed to be there. You broke at least 3 laws by living there, including creating a fire hazard.
I don't get it. Because me and Drew are doing this shit on our own. And yes, we're still homeless, but nobody's setting us up with anything. We have resources being sent to us and we appreciate the help, but we're still doing all of that ourselves.
Doing it on your own? I'm sorry. Do you not have vouchers for that motel room? I'm sorry, did you not just do a multiple $100 EBT haul? You say, oh, well, we probably make more money than you. You live in a motel room that is overrun with nastiness, including maggots, cockroaches. You shouldn't be bragging about anything because you may make money, but the only person you care about is yourself. Okay? Your children could have used that multiple hundreds of dollars that you spent on cooking stuff for new shoes and clothes that fit. Your daughter is wearing clothes that are at least a size too small for her.
Supposed to be about Deshawn. Deshawn would have loved for it just to be that her and I started a friendship, a relationship that
is not the biological mom's job to create a friendship. It is the stepmom's job. And why is it the stepmom's job? Because she is the one coming in and changing things. So no, Stephanie, had you been cordial, had you been supportive, had you wanted a relationship, then you would have had one. Desiree wasn't going to take Deshawn away. And then you guys proved over and over and over and over again that you do not care about him or those other kids. You are toxic to each other, you're toxic to your kids, and you do not deserve them.
Found out that Drew had two sons. I told him, I actually remember this conversation because I said, well, how involved are the baby mamas? And he said, we don't even talk. We don't even have communication between.
If that's really what he said, he was lying to you. Because the day that you showed up with your girls in your bags and told him that your mom kicked you out, Desiree had literally just been doing things with him.
You can say that you spend money on weed, you know, okay. Be willing to state your own fucking faults too. And I'm fully aware of my faults. I got mental illnesses.
Mental illness is not an excuse to make your children homeless because of your selfish decisions. It's not an excuse for abusing your children. It's not an excuse for neglecting your children. It's not an excuse for hurting your kids. Mental illness is not an excuse.
I've made decisions that I could have probably prevented us from getting in this motel, and that's the same for Drew as well.
You 100% could have prevented this had you stayed in your lane and not forced your way in to Drew's apartment and forced Deshawn out of the safety of the bedroom in a one-bedroom government subsidized apartment in the ghetto of Portland, Oregon.
You guys still do not see my social media thing as a job when I probably make more than most of you. I could give a frick. Despite every bit of people just knocking us down and trying to make this not work for us, I still fully have faith that every move that I make every fucking day is for my children and trying to make their life better. And shit has anything to do with me. It's not. The rest is still unwritten. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of my life and what's before and ahead of us, not before us. I mean, I guess you could look before, anyways, ahead of us. It's not, it doesn't matter based off what people have to say. Especially people being like, well, you married a blah, 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 blah. That's wonderful that your parents taught you how to know who you're dating and like what you're getting yourself into before the age 18. And you didn't have to marry some crazy effort to find that stuff out.
Here you are, acting like a victim again. You didn't have to marry him. His mother sat you down and explained to you who he was. You're not a victim. This is not God's plan. Jeremiah didn't force you into anything. You willingly put yourself in every situation that has gone wrong. You did that to yourself.
Marrying someone who says they're one thing and then all of a sudden you get to find out all of these crazy things about them.
You knew about this stuff. And you went to a mental hospital because he took you and the girls off of his visitation list in prison. Not when he went to prison. Not when he was found guilty. Not, when his mom sat you down and told you who he was. No, you went to a mental hospital because your pedophile husband took you off of his visitation list in prison after you left him while married to go screw other men.
Much of a need for childproofing?
Childproofing is necessary because it keeps your children safe. I know you don't know anything about that, but it is actually important. Most people don't leave sharp objects on the floor for their kids to play with. Most people don't let their kids eat trash.
It's a mental game every time I have to go back into that motel room.
You make more money than us, so change it. I pay for a 3-bedroom house $1,700 a month. You make more money than me, baby. So why don't you go find a 3-bedroom house? That would be more than enough space for your children to be comfortable and get rest. The resources people have offered you that you've denied.
Food. We have our needs met.
Who has their needs met? Because certainly not your children. They do not. They're exhausted, they're sleep deprived, they're hungry, they wear clothes that don't fit, they run around barefoot in a motel room parking lot that we've seen you clean up paraphernalia from. Who has their needs met? You? Only you.
So to me, it sounds selfish to not be grateful for even just a motel room. Like comfortability and convenience and stuff, it's not a necessity. Those are different. There's a difference. But I do think that America has set everybody up to believe that the comforts are necessities, if that makes sense. And yes, to a fair, People are just going to spin that and I don't care. Y'all spin what you want to say about me. I don't care. I do believe the kids deserve way more space than this. They deserve, I mean, ideally each of them would have their own room, but that's a big house, yo. That's probably a little bit more than we can afford right now. I don't even know of any 6-7 bedrooms or houses around here. But to be fair, I don't be looking for that, so. But anyways, yeah. I think about it all. I think about people act like me and Drew are just living it up in this motel. And it's like, yo, I think about the fact that I have to hush my children so many times throughout the day because my man is sleeping and we're all in one room. And like, that's so unfair to the...
I don't know how more clearly people can say this. You caused that. You are the problem. You ruined their lives. You did that. Take pride in that because you're obviously not going to take accountability.
Who claims that I'm on other stuff has really never experienced people who are on stuff.
Yeah, hi. My cousins, another family member, yeah, all in my face with doing other stuff. And guess what? You match everything.
Oh, because we just know how honestly weak a lot of you are to things that are just reality to other people.
Yeah, hi. Again, I was 16 years old, babysitting my cousins through the summer, 3 of them, when their mother decided that her life wasn't good enough, and she decided for the second time in her life to start using. She used for about a month before I realized what was going on when she took me to another woman's house to watch their kids while they got high. I was 16 years old when I stopped my cousin from taking her son in a car that didn't have a tire because she was so addicted to something she threw my grandmother's phone at her across her kitchen. I was there. I was there when my 13-year-old cousin decided that she was going to put holes in my grandmother's wall because of the shit her mother did to her. Guess who's an addict now? I was there. At 17 years old, I was taking care of 3 kids, working and in school, helping my grandmother with them, because that's what family does. 17. I was 18 years old when I was told I didn't have power over them and there was nothing I could do. 18 years old. So you want to tell me that we're weak to this? You are the one who is weak because you will not take accountability for your own actions and you will not change it. You are the weak one. You're a pick-me bitch, and people like you are dangerous to kids and other people around you.
That's what it comes down to. It's like, I could never. And yeah, we know that. We know that. That's why you ain't.
I was 16 years old when I walked into my cousin's house while she was losing her mind. Everything destroyed, holes in the walls, TV smashed, glass everywhere. She had lost her mind because the woman that she was with decided to leave. And you could tell that they were beating each other. There was an absolutely destroyed house. No furniture in the living room. Everything else was broken. No dishes. Disgusting. I was 16 years old when I called that woman up and told her if I saw her face again, it would be rearranged. And I was 17 years old when I said the same thing to my own blood.
Scared of him like these precious little princess ladies want to act.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't or have never interacted with addicts. Yeah, that's normal. And you making it out like they're weak? You are so friggin' disrespectful. And then you want to talk about how other people talk about people? You would have been nothing but a disrespectful little brat. You are a child, and you shouldn't be raising children.
Oh my God, the filth of the streets. Oh my God, the filth of the people. That's so crazy that you talk about people like that. That meant shared, or not shared holiday. Is that what that's called? Shared holidays when you all get together. Anyways, if there was opportunities like that, I'm not going to be nasty.
Have you forgotten that they read your messages to Desiree out loud? You've already been nasty. Okay? Des was the one that was cordial. And just because it's what you want doesn't mean it's what you get. I know you're not used to being told no, but honey, no. This isn't your child. You have no say. Any opportunity for a good relationship went out the window when you decided to withhold Deshaun.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the disregard for the connection he has with his siblings is fucking wild to me.
What about his other siblings? What about Anthony and Josiah? Those are his brothers too. So, what about them? See, you only care about your kids. But when it comes down to it, it's not about that. It's about the fact that you alienated Deshaun from his mother. And again, we have the proof.
Say it to my face. You wouldn't.
Not traveling to Oregon, but I have been saying all of this stuff to your face. You are not strong. If you were, you wouldn't have let men control your life. And that's exactly what you did.
I gotta go back into that motel room. It's cool if that's the path you want to go down, but you don't have to force your path on everybody else.
Therapy is the #1 recommended medical help for everybody. Therapists have therapists, okay? Everybody. It is recommended and sometimes required in the medical field as well as others, like being a cop, that you have therapy sessions after something happens. Therapy is recommended for everything. Therapy is recommended so you don't have to take medication. Therapy is recommended so you don't feel like you're doing things alone. Therapy is recommended for even the healthiest people. So you demonizing that, excusing your disgusting behavior by saying, I'm not ready to go to therapy, it's not about you. It's about your children and what is best for them. And this is still number 365, why you are not a good mother and do not deserve your children or Deshaun.